Hello, people of the internet. I'm out in the field today. You can probably see the roadway behind me. It's time to plant a garden, and I'm not like gardener extraordinaire. That's usually the wife's job. I help out, but that's not my thing. And in the spirit of doing things with tools you don't have, using tools that shouldn't be used for this, the TLDR is sometimes when somebody tells you, hey, you know, this kind of attachment would be beneficial to your plans in the future, don't laugh at them. If not, it can cause a lot of extra work. I'm sure some of you can probably figure out where that's going. Basically, we need a tiller, and the field we've got was used for grazing. It was a pasture. It wasn't ever used for, as far as we know anyway, it wasn't ever used for like primary gardening or anything like that. The guy kept a couple head of cattle out here, and they had some horses and different things like that throughout the years. So it's what it is. Well, we got to dig up a piece of earth and get some plants that are on order. Once they come in, you know, soil's got to be ready so plants can go in. Anyway, let's see what we got. This is the general area. Right now, we don't need anything big. It's probably going to be about 10 to 20 feet long when I'm done with it. And it's only going to be as wide as the box, which is a 5-foot unit. That's all she wanted. We've had some rain, and it's been dry for a couple of days. So I figured today's probably the best way to test it, because the ground's still a little soft, but not 100% mushy. I mean, obviously, we got some standing water and some soft spots here, but that's just what it is. The second issue, which I know she didn't think about, and I'm not going to even touch, we are at the top of a hill. It goes down. And it might not look like much, but it probably goes down a good 15 feet. So this is at a down angle, this direction, down. So water retention ought to be interesting. And we also have no well sources out here. So we have to drag water until we can set up maybe like rainwater collection or something along those lines. So you can tell this was thought out. Spent a year thinking about this, and this is what was come up with. So yeah, sometimes, just sometimes, things we do for people we love. But since I don't have a tiller, and I don't feel like buying a tiller because they're stupidly expensive, and I know that a walk-behind tiller would pretty much beat the ever-loving crap out of my wife, and it wouldn't make me feel too great, we are breaking out the Boxblade. Seen this a couple of times, heard people talk about it a few times. This is definitely a last-ditch effort, but essentially, you set your rippers all the way down, you know, until their lowest position, and you put a heck of an angle on the top link. And this is where a mechanical top link, or not a mechanical, but like a powered top link comes in real handy. If not, you know, you're standing there for half hour screwing that jack in. No, it wasn't that bad, but still, you're standing there for a while screwing that jack in. And then you know, let ripper blades do what they're going to do. I'll have to do a couple of passes, and I'll have to go I have to do a couple of passes lengthwise, but then I have to do a couple of passes on the short side as well, because you need the ground, you kind of got to go in a crisscross pattern. So I'm not gonna set up and have you guys watch me fumble around on this, because I am not an operator. As you can see by that, where I tried to use the scraper blade, tried to use the front end loader, but because of the way the ground dips up and down and is a little sideways, and I am not a good operator, I did not compensate for all of those things while I was driving forward, and it resulted in a pretty good just bucket load of junk at the end. We're going to try it this way, see what happens. Worst comes to worst, this will be a super short video, and you'll get to see me fail. So that's always amusing. Everybody likes to laugh at people's problems. It's great. There we go. Couldn't figure out how to hit the record button for a minute there. So I don't know. For us, as small as this area is, I think it worked. I don't really recommend it. Maybe You know, maybe the ground's still a little too wet. I'm trying to catch it in between rainstorms. So, you know, it rained for like 2.5 days straight. Not heavy, but just enough to be damp all the time. And now it's been dry for about 2.5 days straight. The rain's supposed to come back in another day, so, you know, you do it when you can. Also, we do have clay soil. We're probably going to buy compost this year to put in there, but we're going to start making our own compost this year. Have a 6-inch DR wood chipper, which makes pretty good sized chips. They're around the size of a quarter when they come out, diameter wise, in a circular shape. They're about the size of a quarter. So we'll be able to use those. We've got plenty of leaves, you know, scraps. You know how compost works. Compost works like compost works. Let's see here. We are on the western side of the Appalachians. So, you know, primary harvest is always going to be fieldstone. We've got some of that already coming up. It's a good crop. It looks great. It's all natural, 100% organic. So don't have to worry about nothing. And let's see what we got here. Okay. Did about 6 passes on the long side and then 2 passes on the short side in a crisscross. Like I say, it's not bad. It's definitely workable. It definitely didn't beat the crap out of me as much as like a walk behind rototiller would have, or trying to use, you know, we're from a half acre in a highly urban, in the city, a highly urban place. So the only tiller I got is a little attachment for my 2-stroke steel combi trimmer. And it works good for like your raised beds and stuff, but this is just, I'll probably end up using it in here, or will end up using it in here when we get our load of compost to mix it in with this. But it just isn't ideal for anything like this. It's too light duty. And like I say, you know, I know what our physical limitations are, and I've run plenty of rear tine, walk behind powered rototillers, and they just beat the shit out of you. There's no way around it. I guess if you grew up using them all the time, that was fine. We only ever had one part-time as a kid. Mainly my family, my dad couldn't afford it, so if he got the opportunity to borrow one from somebody, we did. And you're talking, that was whatever Craftsman was commonly available with a rear tine back in the 80s, and it was probably something from the 60s or 70s because he was borrowing it from somebody. So that's just the way life is. You do what you do. Definitely go ahead and bring you a shovel, because I did not think forward enough through my first pass and did not bring the shovel, so I had to walk a couple acres back and go get the shovel out of the barn. Other than that, I mean, yeah, it is churned up pretty good, but again, we do have high clay soil, so it's not perfect, it's not great, and I got to go through here and try to get as many of the big rocks out as I can. And that's fine. We actually have some ditching along the side of our driveway on the house side that we're doing like a dry creek bed kind of thing. And we have a lot of sandstone that comes up out of the ground. That's what our fieldstone is. Sorry, highway's right there, so forgive any truck noise. And the street's right there, so not exactly in a wonderful audio environment. But yeah, I mean, using the Boxblade it didn't really till, I guess rip. You know, as a ripper cultivator, using the Boxblade is doable. It's not ideal. I really would have rather had a standard ripper cultivator without the box on the back of it, so that way the dirt would just fall and go where it's supposed to. I'm waving my hands and stuff. Hold on a sec. But yeah, and the end goal with this, so we're putting up, mosquitoes are out. It warms up for one day and mosquitoes are out. End goal is we are trying to have, well, I'm putting another garden tractor together. Let me get my thoughts right. Putting another garden tractor together, and the garden tractor is going to be down here because my wife's comfortable on it. She's not comfortable on the Massey. It's just too big. She doesn't like it. But our 25 horse garden tractors, she's fine with. So this one won't have a mower deck. I've got a sleeve hitch to put on it. I'm going to get probably a drag ripper cultivator and a drag disc harrow. And at this point, actually, if I pick up a drag disc harrow, it'd be really good to go through here and knock down some of these clumps and do what's got to be done. And we're just going to see how it goes from there. I'd like to get a pull behind tiller or something, but I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, tell me you live in a state without state inspections. Everybody's got no muffler. But yeah, so it does work. It doesn't work great. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're in a bind or you're like me and you got to do the best you can with what you got, and this is what you got. But at the same time, for us, for right now, a 3-point tiller isn't ideal. And my wife really doesn't want one because then that's more work on me. You know, I've already got all the house projects, all the garage projects, the vehicle maintenance, any of the heavy lifting, dropping trees, splitting wood, stacking wood, you know. So those are all my chores already. And she just doesn't want to add more to it if she doesn't have to, which is nice. I can appreciate that. But yeah, this is where we're at. You saw what it looks like. It's not great. It'll get the job done. Hopefully we'll be able to grow something this year. And other than that, everybody get out, have fun, and enjoy the day.